A cup of coffee costs $4. That number knows almost nothing. It does not know the hillside where the coffee grew. It does not know the rain that fell there, the soil, the hands that picked the cherries, the road to the port, the fuel in the ship, the heat of the roaster, or the hour you spent earning the $4. And yet that small number coordinates all of them. This is the strange achievement of money. A coffee bean begins as tropical sunlight, water, soil, and human time. It becomes something dry enough to store, dense enough to cross an ocean, and valuable enough to exchange. Money does something similar. It condenses millions of separate choices into a sign that can cross a city, a border, or a lifetime. A number on a screen, a note in a wallet, a price on a menu. Not reality, a shorthand for reality. In 1945, the economist Friedrich Hayek described the price system as a mechanism for communicating information. He understood something uncomfortable. No one sees the whole economy. The farmer knows the soil. The shipper knows the delay at the port. The roaster knows the cost of fuel. The cafe owner knows the street outside the door. And you know whether $4 feels cheap, expensive, or impossible today. None of you knows everything. But the price lets each of you act as if a small part of the whole had reached you. If frost destroys a harvest, the price rises. You do not need to know where the frost came from. You only need to know that coffee has become scarcer relative to other things. The price is a remarkable compression algorithm. It takes a world that is too large for any human mind to hold and turns it into a signal simple enough to act on. But every compression leaves something out. The $4 cup contains a forest, but the price may not contain the cost of losing it. It contains water, but not always the people who will have less of it. It contains labor, but not necessarily exhaustion. It contains a future harvest, but not the future of the soil. This does not mean that money is a lie. It means that a price is a narrow window. It is extraordinarily useful precisely because it leaves most of the world outside the frame.
For centuries, this was the best compromise we had. Strangers could cooperate without sharing a language, a map, or a common memory. They only needed to share a protocol. One number is exchanged for one thing. Money did not make us rational. It made large-scale cooperation possible, despite our ignorance. Now, the frame is beginning to widen. An AI agent can see variables that a price once had to ignore. It can compare the energy used to roast the coffee, the water stress of the farm, the carbon emitted by the ship, the probability of crop failure, the labor conditions in a supply chain, and the needs of a buyer, all at once. It can negotiate, route, purchase, insure, and settle at a speed no individual merchant can match. This is no distant science fiction. In carefully bounded systems, algorithms are already being tested to help manage the liquidity beneath financial networks, with people still responsible for the rules, the risks, and the final decision. The coming change is not that money disappears overnight. It is that price may stop being the only signal we can see. A $4 cup could become a map. Not one number, but a field of consequences.
But greater resolution creates a different problem. Imagine an agent can calculate everything. It knows that one coffee route is cheaper. Another uses less water. A third protects soil. A fourth pays workers more. A fifth arrives faster. which route should it choose? The machine can calculate the trade-off. It cannot discover the value inside it. Should a hospital receive energy before a data center? Should a forest matter more than a cheaper delivery? Should dignity be an expense or a constraint? No amount of processing power can find those answers hidden inside the data. Someone must place the values there. And that someone is not a market, not an algorithm, not a server farm. It is us.
This is the real transition ahead. We are moving from a world in which prices were our only common shorthand to a world in which machines can reveal more of what every price leaves out. That is an expansion of coordination. It is not an expansion of wisdom. AI may help us calculate a richer economy. It may expose costs that were invisible. It may make a supply chain more honest. It may allow strangers to coordinate with a precision that money alone never could. But it will inherit every objective, every omission, and every blind spot we choose to give it. The old system compressed too much. The new system may see too much. Neither one can relieve us of the responsibility to decide what matters. So, look again at the cup in your hand. It is not just coffee. It is tropical sunlight made portable. It is rain, soil, labor, fuel, time, risk, and trust, condensed into something a stranger can buy before work. Money made that condensation possible. AI may change the resolution of the picture, but it cannot decide what the picture is for. A price can tell you what something costs. Only a society can decide what it is worth.